Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video, while I'm out on the river, I am testing out the Oru Kayak Beach LT Sport. Now in a prior video, I took a first look and impression at this kayak. I got it set up, and today I'm getting it out onto the river for some impressions. Now the nice thing about these kayaks, they're very lightweight at around 18 pounds, a very lightweight and manageable kayak, but beyond that, it's a folding design, which is excellent for your ability to store it if you don't have a ton of space, or even bring it in a vehicle if you don't have a truck or something with racks. This can fit in a tight trunk and absolutely get you where you want to go. So in today's video, we'll go through this in detail, but with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Oru Kayak who did provide this for review. Now keep in mind, I did have a first look and impression video of this kayak, putting it together and getting it out onto the water just initially, but I did not cover any of my use impressions. Of course, that is today. What I can say is putting this together is a little bit challenging. You're going to want to practice in a controlled environment, get it dialed in so that by the time you get out here, you've had at least a little bit of practice. It's not difficult, but it is absolutely tricky. Generally speaking, the seat is fairly comfortable. However, it has a little bit of a tendency to kind of rub on your back if you're not careful. Now there is a plastic piece that holds everything in place, and if you're sitting far back or you don't have it adjusted right, you can find that you kind of lean against it, but it's not too big of a deal if you're careful and just take your time and get it dialed in. Now it does have a beautiful gel seat. This is a little bit upgraded, so it does have a beautiful gel seat, definitely cushioned and comfortable. On your rear end, you just need to be a little bit careful, like I said, just to get this adjusted properly, but not a big deal. Now the seat is adjustable. You'll notice that it ties off to the sides, leveraging these clips. I am trying to get it adjusted while I'm sitting here, and it's a little bit difficult because as I'm leaning against it, it is under tension. You kind of need to like slide this around and get it so it pulls. It will go. I find that I need to cinch this up just a little bit, get it a little bit more vertical at this time, just for my overall general comfort. And that's the case on both sides. So just leaning into it a little bit, cinching it up, I can tell you already that is making a difference. Now something else to mention about the seat that is definitely a plus, but it does come with, again, my statement of you need to get it dialed in. On the back here, the rear part of the seat is adjustable up and down. There's a bit of a knob in the back and it tightens down, and it does allow you to raise this, where at this point it's getting higher up on my back, making it much more comfortable while I'm out here. And you can see it does a nice job to support my back. The knob down here, just tighten that up and it allows this to stay in place. So again, another great feature on the Oru. Now I do find if you're moving around quite a bit that the actual back mechanism does tend to slide down over time. I'm hoping that maybe that's something that Oru could perfect in future models and, you know, upgraded or future revisions, because to me it's such a great feature that having it slide down from time to time, it's just a little bit frustrating, but again, I can deal with it. It's just something worth noting. Now you'll notice this does have a footboard that definitely aids in the ability to get good power to the paddles. Some kayaks that I've used don't have that footboard, and I can say it definitely makes a big difference. It's on a little bit of a bungee, so it is a little bit flexible, but it is also tied off, leverages these straps here to keep everything in place. So even though it has a little bit of flex and give, it's also rigid at the same time, so it is definitely effective. You'll notice the length of the nose on this. I am pretty well centered, but I'm saying I'm a little bit further maybe towards the back. This definitely has a little bit of length in the front, but I don't mind that. It definitely cuts through the water nicely. Now at around 12 feet, this is longer than the other kayaks I've used in the past, which are right around the 10-foot mark. And I can say it definitely makes a difference in terms of cutting through the water, but also the general tracking and stability. Being a corrugated design, this is a little bit interesting, where this has a little more flex and give than some of the more rigid polymer designs. You can see the ribs This does flex underneath you, and it has this board on the inside which kind of keeps everything nice and stiff. When I first got this had a tendency to pop up, but now after a while it sits nice and flat, spreads wide, and this is what allows this to sit good and wide and flat. You'll notice a good wide bottom as you look here. I have plenty of room for my legs. I'm able to spread out a little bit, just, you know, feel comfortable. In a perfect world, I do tend to like to put something beneath my knees just for support. So a lot of times I'll take my dry bag, stuff it under my knees, but I find it's not too bad in the Oru. This Beach LT Sport is pretty darn nice. Nice way to be on the lookout for wildlife. And just a great way to spend some time enjoying nature. Oh, look at you wearing your competitor Tuck Tech shirt and kayak. I see how you roll. One of the features that I definitely appreciate about the Oru Kayak, how nicely trimmed out everything is. On the Tuck Techs, if you look real close, some of the edges are not quite finished off. You end up with some trim in some areas, but the areas that are not trimmed off can be quite sharp. So the fact that everywhere is fully trimmed, that means while you're paddling and struggling or, you know, fighting hard, maybe against the current or against waves, if you're banging your arms, you're not getting all cut up, which is a definitely very nice feature. So the fact that this is nicely protected here is great. I do like that quite a bit about this kayak. And also keep in mind, there are a number of accessories that you can get, including clamp-on fishing rod holders, different things like that. So the fact that Oru has a number of accessories, that's cool. You actually can even get their personal flotation devices, which I do have, and it does work extremely well. It's very comfortable and it fits me just about perfect. Now, in comparison to some of the competition, I do have to say this is a lot more difficult to set up, and it definitely takes a lot longer. The competition, they have their setup extremely streamlined. It's less parts. It's all basically connected together with a couple of exceptions. The Oru Kayak definitely having a lot more parts and pieces to manage. So again, I can't stress enough, you're definitely going to want to practice this. Make sure you understand how it goes together and goes together well before you even get to your destination. The practice will absolutely pay off. So all right guys, there you have it. A look at the Oru Kayak, the Beach LT Sport, and some general on-river use. Now, all in all, very, very good. I can say there are some features on this that I absolutely love, and some things that still leave a little bit to be desired. But all in all, there's no denying this is a gorgeous design. It's absolutely beautifully constructed, wonderfully made, has awesome design features, and is a quality kayak. The fact that you can fold it up, carry it with ease, it's lightweight, around 80 pounds, but still has 300-pound capacity. That is absolutely awesome. I love the overall shape and size. I love the way it cuts through the water, and it definitely tracks nicely. Now, some of the things that have me a little bit, and I'm not going to say concerned, but it's just a reality, this is a little bit more difficult to set up than the competition. In all reality, it's going to take you a little bit to get used to this. You definitely need to practice in a controlled environment, so when you get out here, you're ready to go. But once you get some practice, once you get used to it, I do have to say, this definitely comes together nicely. It's stout, it's sound, and even though it is corrugated plastic, at the end of the day, it absolutely performs. So again, guys, if you like what you see here, look in the description box below where you can find all of the relevant links for where you can find your own Oru Kayak Beach LT Sport. Thank you again to the people at Oru Kayak who did provide this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearms side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.